time is of essence, and time is more valuable than money, because we like to say time is money, but time is more valuable than money. Money we lose, we can make. Time, when we lose, we cannot make anymore. 2024 is gone. We will never have a 2024. Okay, so let's move on. All right. So today, I want to address one of those questions that we received. It's a very special question, a situation, a problem that a lot of people face, and it has to do with sex in a marriage. Okay, it's a very delicate subject, but it's a very important subject. So important. And unfortunately, let me close this. Unfortunately, okay, good. This subject is handled differently depending on the community, the culture, the people, and the society. Okay? Sex is a biological, physical, and social reality that is part of the humanity of creation. And it's not only humanity, part of creation as a whole. Everything that God created, of a divine power put together, that enable it to reproduce itself, goes through the process of having an intimate exchange. That's what we call sex commonly. Animals have that. Plants have that. Vegetation, you have um, rocks, um, elements, all everything that has been created, that has been given the ability to reproduce itself, to regenerate itself, has what it's called a sexual encounter. It can be a we can use a, how to call that, a chemical terminology, a biological terminology, a scientific terminology to express it. But at the end of the day, it's a sexual encounter. When it comes to human being now, it's my screen. When it comes to human being, we have been given that with a added value. That added value is what? Is its divinity. It's the power that was put inside that act to make it very sanctified, if I can put it that way. That's why in every society, it is very important to pay attention to the way that this is recognized, manifested, and sanctioned. In a traditional way, around the world, it is acknowledged that when a man and a woman come together, it is the confirmation of an agreement, also called a covenant. You see, the word marriage is an expression that describes a covenant, describes an agreement. You see, so two people living under one roof, known to have the male and female gender. Again, I go back to say that here, that's the couple we acknowledge. Okay? When the two of them come together and engage in their mental relation, okay, emotional relation, physical relation can be that they are together, they play together, they rough on the ground, on the bed. This is physical relation. Now, it can be pushed when it's intimacy of the body. Then we call it another name. That's nothing. It's deeper than just having a relationship. And for the most part, this is the ultimate level of the relationship. When you take, someone is raising their hand. Okay. Someone raised their hand. Did you have a question? Okay. So when you take the relationship from the basic, you have the acknowledgement of two people coming together. Then the increase in trust, the increase in emotional reaction that is called sentiment, the increase in the deepening of that sentiment that is called love. Then that love is expressed how? You can have two friends, two girlfriends, two boyfriends that are having fun, two classmates that are developing to my buddy, boy, two boys being friends, two girls being friends. I'm not talking about what's going on in the world right now. I'm talking about normal buddies. My bestie, two boys are bestie, two girls are bestie. That's a relationship. That's a love. That's filial. That's agape. You have different kind of love. I'm not even going to get into love. That's a whole set of video. I'm talking about the intimacy called sex. Before this happens between two people, it should be the normal thing, the ordained. When I say ordained, I'm not only talking about Christian values. I'm talking about recommended, highly recommended, and set as a norm. What is ordained and blessed to be recognized, be it no matter the religious confession, it is ordained that one female and one male come together in a covenant of relationship. Okay? So nowadays we have several kinds. Okay? We have several kinds. That's not the norm, but there exists where two men and two female are together. This is what's going on, and this is what is out there, and it's part of everything we see as being defined as a relationship nowadays. Okay? But what we are talking about is that what is intimacy and why is it a very important issue in a marriage? Okay? That's where we stop. No, that's where we start. That's where we start. Okay? Now, what I did is I kind of check on a couple of statistics to find out identify on the 15 section or 15 causes of divorce. Okay. Number one is communication. And I'm not sure it's ranking by the high number of cases that are coming, or it's just a random classification. Okay. So we're going to take it as it is. Problem of communication, problem of financial stress, problem, a changing of gender role, okay? Whereas there is an ongoing shift in the gender role where more women are achieving financial independence and pursuing careers may lead to tension in couples if couples, are not aligned in their expectation of household responsibilities, career, or parenting role. This shift can cause power struggles and dissatisfaction within the marriage. And it's number 3 in the causes of divorce in 2024. Number 4 is fidelity. Number 5 is mental health. Infidelity, we're gonna get back to it because it ties very tightly with sexual intimacy. Mental health is number 5, and number 6, lack of intimacy and emotional connection. Number 7, unrealistic expectation. Number 8, differences in parenting styles. Number 9, technological and social media addiction. The reason why I specify in 2024 is that what's going on right now this year, not in the time past, this year, in our generation, in our time, what's going on? The social media has fanatism, okay? Social media fanatism have created a great strife and trouble in families, especially in couples, family unit and couples, including gaming. It has been linked to relationship dissatisfaction. Excessive screen time can lead to lack of attention and connection. So this can also be have an effect on the intimacy. So now number 10 is personal growth, and number 11, unresolved conflict. I'm going over each and every last one of them because you're going to see how everything is tied and everything can affect the sexual life. Cultural shift and changing attitude toward marriage. There is a growing acceptance of divorce in many cultures, and marriage itself is no longer seen as a lifelong commitment by everyone. Younger generation in particular are more likely to view marriage as a partnership that must be fulfilling. And if it becomes unhealthy or unproductive, divorce is seen as an acceptable solution. Number 13, impact of COVID-19 pandemic. Number 14, lack of marriage preparation. That's a big one. Many individuals enter marriages without adequate preparation or a realistic understanding of the challenges that lie ahead. Couples who do not have the tools to handle challenges such as financial difficulties, health crises, or changes in family dynamics may struggle to adapt, leading to the breakdown of the relationship. And the last one is marriage at older age. That's one. So what I want to do now is connect the dots. And to do that, I'm going to go back to the problem that was presented to us. Okay? The problem said not enough sex or when to say no to sex in our marriage. So here, I want to separate that in two. Not enough sex or when to say no. Okay? Not enough can be caused by some of the causes of divorce that I read earlier. Okay? We have let me go back to, so in a case of unresolved issues, okay, lack of communication and unresolved issues, okay, for the most part, a problem that is lingering causes anger, resentment, okay, unhappiness, strife, dissatisfaction. Now, when these feelings are going on in the body of a normal human being, be it a male or a female, it is impossible to engage in something that is satisfaction driven or satisfaction releasing at the same time and do it properly and fulfilling. Be it the male or the female. For the most part, the male can manage it because they are more prone to process things and let go easily. And they are also prone to adapt quickly to the environment or to the situation and engage in the situation when the situation is better than what they had. That's why they are quick to start a new relationship when another one did not work. Whereas a woman would take time to heal first. You see? So you can have a husband that is not happy and all of that, but his wife can help him enter into a conditioning to have intimacy. But the other way is difficult. Women they are not light switch, no. Women take time like a fire to be turned on. So when there are so many problems going on in a marriage, be it financial, be it the children, be it a health issue, be it at work, be it in the family, not being okay with the in-law, always not feeling secure with the husband. Husband is ganging up with his own family against his wife. All of that, the wife's intimacy or interest in sex erodes, you know, slowly, a little bit drop until her tank is empty. So intimacy for a woman is like a garden that needs to be watered. It's a garden that needs to be pruned. It's a garden that needs to be taken care of so that it blossoms every day. And it's a daily occurrence, a daily exercise for the woman. Not enough sex can also be a health issue, a health condition. You know, sometimes women nowadays are suffering so much with all kinds of illnesses. You have, breast cancer, cervical cancer, ovarian cancer, all manner of cancer. Not counting, some takes a whole year before they are healed from childbirth. You see, sometimes the doctors say, oh, after 6 weeks, you can have intimacy. But the body of a woman is not like that. If medically, after 6 weeks, the uterus and the reproductive organs can heal itself, to reposition itself, there is something that has to happen to the woman's mind, body, and spirit that will make the connection with the fact that she is okay to engage, especially when you have, in a case where women, it's the first child, for instance. The first child can be traumatizing for a new mom, okay? She has been beautiful her whole youth. and she's pregnant for the first time, her body completely changes. If she doesn't have a good support system to help her be confident again, if she doesn't have a supportive husband to keep telling her that she's beautiful, even when her body is changing, even when her head, her neck is darker and her nose is 3 times the size, and all of that is going on, her stomach has all kind of marks, and she cannot retrieve, she can't find, the body of her youth literally is gone. That's traumatizing for a woman. You see, some women literally decide not to have another child after the first child. Some women have postpartum depression because of all of these traumatic things that they went through to give birth to a child. And a woman who is suffering from post-traumatic depression cannot see sex as something she will even think about to have, because that's what she did that causes all of that. And that will put off having intimacy with her husband. So not enough sex has a lot of reasons. And everything that is happening in the couple has to come from a feel of compassion, love, and understanding. There are some men who are cruel. There are some men who are flat out cruel. And it's not even a matter of, he has passed lacking culture. He has passed being uncultured. Because there are men who don't have culture. There are men who don't know, they don't have what we call in French the savoir-vivre. You see? Meaning they are not refined. They don't know how to live. Meaning that they can be invited to dinner and they don't know how to eat at the dinner table. That's what savoir-vivre is. So they don't know that when they marry a young lady, the body of a young lady is a piece of art they need to respect, love, and appreciate. You can have them bash the young lady, the way they saw the how do you call this again, Coca-Cola shape, and they literally chase after her until they marry her. That's the same way they react when her body changes. Huh? Why did you become fat? Why are you fat? Look at your stomach. Look at you. But okay, when you marry her, she was not looking like that. It's that big head of your family that came out of her that made her look like this now. You see? But that will mark a woman that put her life out there to give a child to your name. Something like that will kill a desire to have intimacy with a man, with her husband. The way the husband treats her body. And there's also, I'm going to go there, the conditioning of the reproductive system. Because after a child, it changes, the anatomy changes. It has to take a specific intentional treatment to be re-put together again. This is why I never trust and believe those 6 weeks that American doctors give you to be healed. No, me, I don't even want to hear that. You see? And nowadays, because men are allowed to be with the doctors and everything, they hear, oh, after 6 weeks. So after 6 weeks, they are like, okay, you are healed. Come on. But no. Each woman is different. Each woman is different. You have to take time to heal mentally, emotionally, and physically from childbirth. You have to give your body time to recondition yourself. And for the most part, when you give birth, your hormones take time to realign itself. So when it's realigned, your body, you have this feeling of wanting it. But actually, it's a hormonal reaction of realigning itself. You see, so if you don't pay attention to your health, you can go back to the 6 weeks and actually you're not here yet. Actually, your anatomy is not completely realigned and resized. And that can put off your husband because he will not find the same thing he had before. These are all the little things that create the reduction in sexual interest in marriage and not having enough sex and many other things, but I want to stop here now. Now, the second part, when to say no to sex. In addition to everything I said earlier, I want to say that if everything is, if all is well, okay, if all is well, normally you should not say no to sex unless there is something that you need to discuss with your spouse. Unless you have seen a sign of, let's say, infidelity. Okay? Infidelity can cause a rupture in a healthy sexual life. Because not it's the betrayal. The betrayal itself can cause that, to say no. Okay? Because that's it's an inflicted hurt that you put on your spouse. Okay? That can create to say no to sex. And that will be a rightful place to say no. Because that's a betrayal. And you have to deal with the betrayal. And mind you, it's a traumatic event. So if you don't face your trauma, the trauma, to be healed, to talk about it, to go through it, and you jump into sex, what you are doing, you are suppressing a volcano. Because he's going to want to let you, or she's going to want to let you know, if the spouse will want to bring the other one to have intimacy in a way to be forgiven, in a way to try to make amends. But make sure that you have made amends by speaking, by processing this thing before you do that. Because otherwise, what you're doing is you are just putting Band-Aid on a deep wound. And by doing that, that cheating spouse will go and do it again because you did not process it properly. So at that time, you can say no. Even if you are not sick, you have not had a baby, there's nothing, all is well, you can say no when there is a betrayal. Because there is an elephant in a room you have to deal with. In addition to that, there's the problem of STDs. You see? So you need to make sure that you deal with that issue. You say no, you go get tested, you go to medical checkup, all of that. Then you can go back safely and feel comfortable yourself to engage into that again. So besides those issues of betrayal, You cannot say no. So that's where I want to stop here for this one. We'll go deeper, but I want to keep it simple like that so that we can have time for questions and comment and all of that. So anybody has a comment? Where is my YouTube? My Zoom, I say YouTube. My Zoom is right here. Am I still connected? Let's see, connected. Anybody there? Anybody in Zoom? Who do I have here?
We are here. We're digesting it. It's so profound and oh my goodness, lots of
Yes.
powerful.
Oh, welcome. Oh, wow. Hello, everyone.
Hello, Mama.
Hello, iPhone. Hello, Love. Thank you for connecting. Okay. So what I want to add is this. I want to open now the discussion of the cliche. The cliche. Okay, here goes Brandy. Here goes Brandy. Okay, Brandy. Brandy says, most men struggle to understand the biological makeup of women. Yes, even on a superficial level. That is correct. And that's one of the major issue we have. Major issue. Major is a big issue. I love the way you said it, Mama. Thank you. Okay. We thank God. Pushing the trauma for later. Yeah, you cannot say no. What if you are not in the mindset at the moment per the request? Thank you, Brandy, for reminding that, because I remember when I was talking earlier, I said, let me put that aside for that. Okay, let's talk about that. Okay, let's talk about that. Like I said, I didn't want to get too deep, but I think we need to address the issue because we cannot play around. We can't beat around the bush. Okay, now there is this cliche that, especially in our culture, that say that you can never say no to your husband. Okay, and you can be married to a brute. Okay, a director of village quarter. Excuse me. Sorry, Mama Seka is big, Mama Seka. You can the president of the villagers association. You can be married. You can be married to, you know, you can you can be married to a very insensitive, narcissistic person. Okay, and in the cases like that, it's deeper than just. That's what I was telling you. When everything is right, when you married a very compassionate, loving man whose childhood has been very healthy and everything is okay, the only time you can say no is when there is an issue to deal with, because you don't want to have, you're going to break the, how can I put it for you guys to get it? Imagine you have your dishes, okay? Imagine you have your dishes. You have beautiful dishes for your holidays. All of you know your mom have dishes for holidays, or your grandma, and then dishes for every day. That's what your sex life is. It's the dishes of holidays. It is precious. It is beautiful. It is used to be served for beautiful food to celebrate a holiday. When you come into intimacy with your husband, it is a wonderful time. It's like you coming to eat a holiday meal with the best dishes. So now, if there is an issue and you do not deal with it, and you take intimacy to press and suppress it, it's like you just pulling a plastic container from a dollar store and you want to serve your beautiful Christmas evening dinner or your the wedding dinner of your daughter in that dollar store plastic to people. No, you don't do that. This thing with your husband or your wife or it's so precious that you have to value it so that anything that would cheapen it, you fight it tooth and nail. Don't cheapen your sexual life. Don't cheapen the intimacy with your spouse. Don't cheapen that. I'm not happy, but if you want to, if you say so, and you are like this in bed, is that the demeanor you're supposed to have in bed? My daughters, that's not the place for it. This demeanor is in the living room, even in the kitchen. When you're doing dishes, you can grumble, you can do all of that. You can, but if it's the time to do you cannot do. That's why you need to fix it before you get there. If you need to get out of the bedroom, fix it before you get there, because you see, it is a sound. Your matrimonial belt is an altar. That's why I say we're going to go deep. I did not want to go there, but let's go there. Your matrimonial bed is an altar. It's an altar unto God. That's why you have to do this thing in the confinement of a marriage. We all did not know all of that. We did what we did when we were young. We did not know. Out of ignorance, my people perish. We were not saved. Our parents were not saved. If I grew up with saved parents, it could have maybe be different. I wasn't 7 till I was maybe 50 or 40 something. My children were already grown. I did not raise them with that. I went to church, but I was not saved. Two different things. I was Catholic. In Catholic church, not one day I can remember that the priest came and in his homily talk about the fact like the pastors do. When pastor come and tell you fornication is a sin, never. I heard that growing up. If I heard and I forgot, God forgive me. I never heard growing up. The fear of God was not put in me to save myself from marriage. I never got it. Neither from my household, neither from church. How would I know? But now we are born again. Now we are saved. We're doing marriage. Our children, or in my case, my grandkid, have to grow up with this instruction from the get-go. Be instilling them. Because I see children, young ladies and young men going into their marital home, preserving themselves, and it's a great blessing. Heaven opens up and pour blessings, and you can see it. So the marital bed is an altar unto the Lord. When you are legally married, When you are married before the Lord, when you have this intimacy, it is a worship unto the Lord. That's why you see that act of sex is used in the kingdom of darkness for spiritual transaction. That's why you cannot play with this thing. It's a gate. It's a gate. Sex in a marriage is a worship unto the Lord. That's why marriage has to be the only place to have it. Otherwise, it's a gate for demon to go like this, like a highway. Demon go in, demon go out. Because it's a spiritual hub. It's a spiritual hub. Just like he said in the Bible, before you come to give your worship, your offering, before you come to give your offering, if you have a grudge with your brother, put your offering down, put your sex down, put it down. Because it's an offering unto the Lord. So put it down, put it down. Okay, let's talk about this thing. Talk. Get reconciled. Get an understanding. Don't go to sleep with grudge. And the injury that will be put, the insult that will be put in the injury is going to engage in this thing with a grudge in your heart. No. So that's the only time you say no. Spiritually, it's not good for our family. I cannot do this. We have to talk about this matter. Let's go to the living room, fix it, and then we'll go by again. And I will show you Pepe. Hallelujah. But we have to take this thing very seriously. It's not talked about enough in this sense in churches. Just say, oh, but Apostle Paul say you should not refuse each other unless you agree to fast, unless you agree to this. And then, yeah, but I saw a text message of somebody in your cell phone. We need to fix this before anything happens. Otherwise, it's not a blessing unto our family. Hallelujah. So that's what I wanted to talk about. I didn't want to go deep, but we're going to go deep. So the other thing is, okay, where was I? Okay, where was I? Okay, most men, okay, you cannot say no, what if? Okay, so we talked about that. Now, the next comment is, when it comes to going back to intimacy with your husband after childbirth, what is an advisable period of time? Well, as a woman my age having childbirth, I'm going to talk to you. And because I come from a special tribe in my tribe, women are, the way women are treated there, women are treated with great care. When they enter the marital home, the way they are prepared. When they give birth, the way they are put back together. It takes 3 months before a celebration we call coming out. After 3 months, the new mom comes out with a baby. And those 3 months, she has been massaged, steamed, infused, fed, oiled, all of this for 3 months, being shaped back into place. This is why in my tribe, women were having children, and you see them bouncing off the wall. You can't tell this woman gave birth to 8, 9, 10, 11. My grandma had 11 kids. Her sister had 10. And they are not exception. And my grandma was like this until she was 90 some years old, like that. And you can see my mom. I think a couple of you saw the picture of my mom. She's 80. The body, the anatomy of a woman, it's so, so, so delicate. There's some people that don't pay attention to this. Here, for instance, me, I was shocked the first time I was told when I had a baby after 6 weeks. I'm like, 6 weeks? Wait, when? What? You're not touching me after 6 weeks. You touch me when I say I'm ready. Don't let the doctor tell you what to do when your body is not ready. And especially when you are young, you are having your children one after. Imagine, your body is not ready. You get another one. Your body is not ready. You get another one. What you going to do to your body? What are you doing to your body? What are you doing to your body? You have to, this thing is here until you are 90, you can still have it. If you are in a healthy relationship with your husband. And it doesn't have to be inside. It could be, any manner of way you can use for the two of you to be satisfied. It doesn't have to go in. So there's a long time in your lifetime to do this thing. But women, ladies, young daughters, take your time to heal. Take your time to make your body heal. Some women give birth, they never recover their physical body. You see? So it's important to take care of oneself. It's important. It's true. We don't have these communities today. But one of the things that Mama Seka wants to do is to create this community, even in the abroad. Even in the abroad. That's one of my goals. And by the grace of God, it will come to pass. That's one of my goals. Is to create this community of women taking care of young ones and making sure that we are healthy, because a woman that is not healed from childbirth, look at all the cases of postpartum depression we see in Oyibo community. They collect all the children, they go and they unalive all of them. Some of them unalive themselves as well. You see, we have to take time to nurture each other. So this thing is very important. Like I say, it's a spiritual event. It's literally a spiritual event. Just like when you pray, just like when you worship, it's a spiritual event. So it's not to be taken lightly. There's this British girl. I wanted to pull up her name, but I didn't get into Candace's YouTube. Maybe if I check it, I will find her. I don't know what. I think it's the enemy who decided to ruin her. Because okay. So the Guinness Book record right now, her name is Lisa Sparks. She holds the world record for sleeping with the most men in a single day. In a single day. having slept with 919 men in 24 hours. Then you have what's her name? That's 2004. That was 20 years ago. Okay. 2024. This one is British, and she wanted to do 1,000 men in one day. What's her name? I don't think she was. I can't remember her name. Oh, I think that's her right here. Okay. But hers is 100, not 1,000. Okay. When she finished, she broke down crying. She broke down crying because at this point, her soul was broken into pieces, into pieces, into pieces. She lost herself. Because this thing is not only spiritual, it is literally affect every area of one's body. From the soul to the mind, to the thoughts, to the conscious and subconscious, to the memory bank, to the vision field. Because sometimes people who are engaged in things like pornography and all of that, the pictures are in the vision. They keep singing it. They keep singing. They're at work. It's right there. Everywhere there, it's filled in the eyes. Feel the filth of that. So I can sit here until tomorrow. It's not going to be enough. So just what I want to say is this. For the one who are not married yet, one of the things that is very important for men is sex. This is the reason why they look for sex appeal in women. One of the most important things for us is relation. That's why we are looking for the one who's telling us sweet things. When a woman looks at a man, she's not seeing a man, she's hearing a man. That's another video. Men see women. Women hear men. They're hearing the men. Why? Because they're looking for something that can, something of value that they can grab. Something of a security they can find themselves in. They are buying the word. Men is buying the physique. So when it comes to intimacy now, it goes the same way. You know this thing, when the Lord said he gave me this thing when I was 17, I started to trust him. Because I remember when I was in Catholic church, I was still in a position of vice president of a council, of a parish council. And so I was literally, I was called literally one or two times to speak to the youth. And one time it was about marriage. Now, so now because of that, young couples were coming or inviting me. So one of the couple that invited me is actually, they are from Cameroon. They are from Cameroon. And they invited me for the marriage, and the event was the girls, what do you call this thing again? Bachelorette. It's not really bachelorette, but it's they say evening, an evening with mothers, or evening with, the tanties, something like that. But they invited me. So I was supposed to go and talk, and so I was giving my counsel. So I told her, I say, you see, this husband that you are getting, you can make him, you can break him, you can get everything and anything that you want from him, but it depends on who he is. When I keep saying that you cannot change a person, you cannot change a person. If you marry an attentive and compassionate person, when that husband comes into the marriage, it will be more attentive and more compassionate. If you marry someone who is not, when it comes into the marriage, it's going to be amplified. It's not going to be even more, because that's not who he is. And because you are now together every day, you're going to see it more. You see? But at the end of the day, God has given us the ability and the anointing to handle them. You see? So whatsoever that we see that we can change, we have to evaluate. Can I live with it? Or can I not live with it? Because these things are things that the red flags are there before we got me. Oh no, this one, no. Like I said, we don't have the victim mentality. This is one thing that I do not concede at all. Anything that is wrong in a spouse was there before you enter the marriage, 100%. You did not pay attention to it. You saw it, you neglected. You saw it, you were too busy planning your wedding to address it. You were in denial. You tolerated it. You had the illusion that it's going to change. All of that. That's why. So I'm saying that to say what? The culture has conditioned us. He's your husband. You cannot say no. And pastors will tell you, you cannot say no. The Bible say only if you have fasting or no. I can say no. You know why? Because even if the Bible say my body belongs to my husband and my husband's body belongs to me, I'm the one who showers that body. I'm the one who has a headache. When I have a headache, he does not have a headache. When I have this baby in my stomach, he's jumping up and down, and I cannot jump up and down. So this reality is not 100%. So if something is going on in my body and I cannot engage in that, you cannot tell me because he is his, I have to suffer the pain and trauma for him to be sad. That's living a marriage devoid of compassion, of love, of sensitivity, and being literally humane. And a lot of our sisters, especially in Africa, are living in these conditions, being beaten and being forced into sex, being violated by the husband, because the moment there is a no and forceful act is done, it is the V word, the R word rather. So I do not agree with this. Your body is your husband is yours, 100%, you must, this, that, and the other. I don't agree with that. I agree to it in the condition, in the healthy condition. In a healthy condition, if I'm not sick, if I'm not going through trauma, if I'm not going through biological changes like after a childbirth, if I did not see in your phone that you cheated on me. That's a trauma. All of that. Yes. But if any of this is going on, all bets are off. Let's fix the issue before you ask me for this intimacy. That's when the spiritual part of it needs to be taken to seriously. Because if you are a man and you abuse your wife and you think that she telling you no, she's breaking God's law. No, no, no. You, or God, is the one breaking God's law. You are the one, not her. That's where I'm going to stop. Let me see if there's another one. Okay. When it comes to going, okay, I answer that. Yeah. I gave my personal experience and opinion. To me, 3 months is safe. It's safe 100%. Maybe 2.5 to 3 months. But I 100% do not subscribe to those 6 weeks. I do not. Even if your body is, you feel okay, you had, your hormones are back, and you see, for instance, your periods are back, it is back and everything, your hormones are back. So they are triggering, but it's not, it doesn't mean that you are healed. It's just your hormone that is giving you this sensitivity. And they think that, oh, if a woman has this drive, then therefore she's ready to. No, the hormones are coming back. So of course you're going to feel all the hormones coming back. But it doesn't mean you are healed completely to go back. Yeah. Okay, so another one is what? Indeed, Mama, we don't have such community today and have to zoom through it. Yes. Yeah. My goal and my prayer is that I do my part. I do my part. I really want to see to it that my daughters, the generation of my daughters, be catered to, because it's not healthy out there. Men, some ridiculous, childish boys who get married will sit down and mock the wife's anatomy after childbirth. Okay? And then tomorrow you're going to be surprised that what you do you don't succeed in your enterprise. Okay. So what about a situation where it is the man that is wanting to be intimate with his wife? That's what I'm saying. He has to be understanding. He has to be understanding. And this is a part of seeing your wife going through a disease, a sickness, okay? And for you, all you want, okay, you have a headache, you have a cold, okay, the cold is on the head. Therefore, I can take care of what's between the legs. You take your Tylenol, nighttime Tylenol, it will heal the cold. Let me take care of what's between the legs. What are we going to do? I am going to ask a very unconventional question. How can the men's needs be met during the recovery period? We have to strike a balance. Yes, I agree. I agree. That's when, see, that's called for a healthy marriage. This is what we're talking about. You see, that's called for a healthy marriage, because you have to come in a place of him understanding that I need to heal, therefore I'm not going to be able, my body is not available. See? So, honey, I understand. I'm not asking that. I know what you went through. and I know you need time to heal, but this is my need. And then you, in agreement, you find a solution together. That's what that's a beauty. That's what I'm talking about. There's no trauma. There's no, fighting. There's no, it is my right. No. You see? So together you come into an understanding. Yes. How do we do that? I think we can do, I think. You don't even have to discuss. You can find a solution right there in the comfort of your bed. But it is because it's a spiritual encounter. You have to make sure you do it properly, without grudges, without hurt, without pain, without all of this stuff that is going on. You see? So, Brandy, that will be between the spouses to find a common, you know what I mean, understanding to take care of him. Okay? And again, it's up to the body. Are we got it? Are we getting it? Yes, yes. That's exactly right. That's a sign of a healthy marriage. Finding this kind of compromise. This is what I'm talking about. That's 100%. 100%. Okay, anything else? Anyone else? You can share once we make the video available. You can share to people, say which old mama is telling people to wait 3 months after giving birth. To wait 3 months after giving birth. You know that there are some men that got traumatized. I know a couple. I know a couple. The man was invited into the birthing chamber, and like they do here at the abroad. I know that in Africa they leave the men out, and now some countries like the Africas now they are so advanced now. They're letting the men in, especially when it's a C-section. They're letting the men in there all dressed up now. But other countries still leave the men outside. Okay. To me, it's a good thing, but not 100%. So I have 50-50, and I will give you my dear husband. If you have one papa like mine, it will pass out on you in while you are on the table getting a C-section. Half of the team will be reviving him. Is that what you want? Is that what you want? So not every man can stand the trauma and the blood of childbirth. Anyway. Okay. How can you start a healthy marriage if you do not have it? If your spouse is not ready to learn and grow with you? Okay. That's a very delicate subject. I think this one is to be taken one at a time, one person at a time. Okay, one couple at a time. Because every marriage has its own challenge and it's not universal. So you have to be in the comfort of that particular marriage to know exactly what it is. You see, because even me, I need a particular counseling about an area of my marriage. You see, so when it comes to specificity like that, you need to make it a particular counseling session, because not every marriage is 100%. All we are doing, we are managing. We are managing to make sure that the healthy part of a marriage is salvaged, is safe, preserved, and carries the other side that is not working. This is how you do life. You see, that's why when you wake up every morning, you cannot say, oh, my life is bad. Oh, this. No, you have to wake up with positivity. You have to wake up with hope, great hope. You have to wake up knowing that there's somewhere somebody is suffering worse case than you are. You see? So what is working in my marriage is what you have to take and salvage and try to see how you can work the rest and massage it to advance. Unless your life is in danger, the life of your children are in danger. These cases, you have to run. But in that case, it's a one step at a time and specific issue at a time. Because marriage is not one day, it's not 1 year, it's a lifetime. So we're taking one issue, and marriage has got seasons. There are seasons of bliss, seasons of discovery, seasons of realignment, seasons of harvest, and seasons of rest. You see? So every season you have to find out what is working, what is not working, what is working, what is not working. What am I adjusting? What am I improving? What am I like this, until you arrive at the other side. And then people are looking at you and your guys like, wow, these people, look at this wonderful 40-year marriage, 30-year marriage, 25-year marriage. It was not like that. It was a hard work of assessing and, but me, I'm not for unrealistic and dishonesty. Me, I'm not for dishonesty at all. The way you see me, what you see is what you get. I don't do hypocrisy. Don't come and take pictures and show me like this and that, and it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that you should not have family memory pictures and this and that. No. In your marriage, there must be the bedrock of truth and honesty, 100%. And you live your marriage like that, someone who knows you outside and come into your home knows that, these people, they don't fake anything. This is how you need to live. This is how you need to live. Because through you, light has to shine. Through you, light has to shine. And another thing I want to say is that we started with sex, but I'm going on other things because all of this is sustained on a healthy sexual life. To have and achieve a healthy sexual life, all of the other component has to be managed with honesty and truth. Otherwise, you are going through the motion, being used and abused. And abuse that is not physical is worse than physical abuse. Is worse than physical abuse. So I think I'm going to stop here unless somebody has anything else to say. I think we did a good, hour 15 minutes. Somebody joined us. We were 6 now, I see 7. iPhone. Oh, Mojoko. How are you? Thank you for joining us. You were not there when we started, so thank you. We had a good time talking about some very deep stuff. Anyone else has a question?
Just want to thank you, Mama. Thank you so much for the teaching. Lots of wisdom and good insights.
Thank you all for connecting. Thank you for coming. We continue these sessions to get to know each other, and so that we can go a little deeper. We can go a little deeper, because once you get to know, like I say, who you see is who you get. And my daughters know me, they will tell you, I function with truth, no hypocrisy, no none. We come clean, we come open, and we do life this way. That's the only way we can win. We are in this to win. Thank you, Brandy, for connecting. So before we get off, please do not get off yet. Mojoko, thank you. I'm so glad you connected tonight. So 2 big announcements. I don't know if you guys saw the video about the book club. I'm introducing the book club. We're going to have few books in 2025. We're going to have spiritual books, psychological books, family books, all the books that are catered to women health, body, soul, and spirit, management of home, of our children, our marital, all of that, like the subject we are discussing thus far since we connected. So the book club will be every 3 months. So what I'm hoping is that we read 4 books in 2024. And one of them is the book of Proverbs, the book of Proverbs in the Bible. It is an essential book that a woman has to have under her armpit. It's full chock of wisdom for women, for everybody, but for women. So we're going to do the book of Proverbs. We're going to do, there's a couple of ladies. One of them is my mentor. We're going to get their books. We're going to read those. And what we're going to do is we're going to have section of discussion. The first Sunday of every month, we're going to have a session of discussion. And we're going to discuss the book. I know some of you are in school. I know some of you have nurses and doctors and you know, time-consuming career demands with children and everything. All I'm asking you to do is to pick 1 or 2 chapters. Pick 1 or 2 chapters, or 3. You can do 1 chapter in the beginning, 1 in the middle, 1 at the end. All I wanted you to do is to read, to understand what the author is trying to convey. And we're going together have a little cheat sheet. And throughout the year, we're going to have ourselves wisdom that will be our GPS. And what's going to happen is we're going to help each other. Because what will speak to Vera might not be what is speaking to Brandy, might not be what is speaking to Lovette or to Mojoko or to myself. So together, when we bring up in chapter 2, I found this. This for me is this. I can apply to my son, my daughter, to myself, to my this, that, and the other, because that. We write it down. So for each book, we're going to have lessons, life lessons, and roadmap. And at the end of the year, we will have something that will carry us into the next year by the grace of God, if Jesus tarries and we all have the breath of life in our lungs. Because if we don't do things differently, we're not going to have a different result. We are a generation of Yaakov, the generation of the Christian women that seek to live life better, to do life better on a winning edge at every level of our life, we are winning. We are not victims. We are not abused and battered. We are not, no, we don't function like that. We come with an edge, an advantage that we are educated, empowered, informed, and we take decisions that are rightfully advantageous to our family. This is what we are aiming to. That's announcement number one. Announcement number two, here Mami Seka is having her first women conference on January 24th to 25th. The evening of the 24th is a Friday evening. And then all day Saturday, we're going to have our women conference. And in that women conference, we will address issues, we will go in details, and we will have clinicals. So we have different sessions where it's broken into 2 or 3, and then we address matters that needs to be addressed on a one-on-one basis. Because some of the issues are, you know, what can I say? It's an overview kind of approach. And sometimes question like the one that Vera put there is a little bit deeper, a little bit specific. And we need to have that approach as well. By the grace of God, I am on this earth. I don't want to go out of this earth with something. I want to empty everything out. So anybody who wants it, come get it. That's all I can say. So these are the 2 announcements that I wanted to give today. The conference coming January 24th to 25th, and the book club starting in January. So we will start the book of Proverbs in January. Okay, if anybody, you have a Bible, you know, you can bookmark book of Proverbs. We're going to start there. Wisdom, 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 book of wisdom. Okay. All right.
Is it going to be virtual or on premise? Because the question is it going to be virtual? Okay.
Virtual. The first conference will be virtual, 100% virtual.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right, ladies. Thank you for joining tonight. And I know that Christmas and New Year is approaching. What do you want to do? We go on vacation from today. It's virtual. Brandy is going to be virtual, 100% virtual. So everybody can attend without any problem. Okay. All right. So thank you, ladies, for connecting. And I wanted to have a session on the 22nd, next Sunday. If you are available, that's fine. If you're not available, it's okay too. But I just want to do a special holiday session on Sunday, the 22nd, next Sunday. So happy holidays for everyone, and see you next time.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Happy holiday. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.